Anybody who's just joining us, you did miss the first hour of the show, but thank you so much for being with us today. We have got a ton of fucking show to do, and I tell you what, let's jump right into it. It's time for another one of those slick fights.
To pit one ghost against one fish in a battle for cinematic supremacy. Prepare yourself for Flick Fights. Flick Fights.
Oh, that is a fucking sweet graphic, man. You'll love to see it. Guys, today we're going to do it up on Total Recall. And we're gonna fight it out to determine whether or not it was all a dream. Tell us about it, Phil.
Well, I gotta tell you, G, I have been excited about it all week long. It is Flick Fights, ladies and gentlemen, and tonight we are going deep into Total Recall as we take a look at whether or not Quaid was really Douglas Quaid the whole time, and that when he went to Recall, he got lobotomized because he went crazy. Or if he was Hauser the whole time and the Quaid persona was made up and given to him, and he was really
so the question is, was he Quaid or was he Hauser? And that would hinge on, if he's Hauser, that means that everything transpired in the movie the way that it says it did, right? He had a memory cap, he had already been to Mars, all of this type of shit. Which is why he shoots that guy in the head. If he is, in fact, Quaid, then that means at the end he is more than likely lobotomized. That's what they told him was going to happen anyway. That this is all part of the delightful package the company sold him.
Yeah,
you know
the secret agent pack. Yeah,
all right, so what do you think, Phil?
Okay, so I have chosen to back the Hauser argument. I believe that he was the bad guy who was bosom buddies, if you will, with Cohagen.
I mean, they even say you'll be Cohagen's bosom buddy. You know what
That's
I mean?
right. And I think he was. I think everything happened in the movie as you see it. He goes crazy in Recall. Then he ends up, having to run away from people trying to kill him. He goes to Mars. He starts the reactor. He saves the world, and he champions the rebellion. I think it was all real.
Okay, so if it's all real, my first question to you is, how is he dreaming about all of this stuff happening before it even fucking starts, man? What does that mean?
I mean, he was just having dreams. What do you mean,
But I mean, he literally dreams about the girl that was fucking there. You know what I'm saying? If it was all real, he had never met that girl before. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. No, wait, he did meet her.
No, that's right.
He had to write her name down. He had to write the word Melina to recognize his own handwriting.
He's Hauser. That's an argument for me. What are you talking about?
Strike that from the record. Forget that I said that.
It's going to get confusing, guys. It's going to get weird.
Well, I mean, we are talking about... Can I just, by the way, Ted, can we just look at this still frame? God damn it, I love Total Recall. I'm saying that he was, in fact, Quaid, man. This is bullshit, because... if he was Hauser the whole time, I don't think that all of the things from his real life would have integrated so neatly into it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that Sharon Stone is capable of the guile that they suggest.
What?
When they put the
Sharon Stone is a terrible liar. Objection,
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
Honor.
She's a terrible liar. She would have to be a good liar to have actually been hired by Cohagen that whole fucking time.
Yeah, but as a viewer, you can tell she is lying.
I don't know about that. She gives him lots of looks. That's because she's tired of him watching news about Mars when she's trying to get banged constantly, as far as I can tell. She's always sweaty and wearing spandex and shit through most of the movie.
She's trying to shut him up, bro. She's trying to bottle him up because he's really Hauser. That's what she's been assigned to do.
You're telling me that this guy right here was really Hauser. I'm not buying that.
I think, of course. Who else? He's got secret agent abilities.
Well, people just maybe are natural on that too. I don't know.
I mean, here's
what I'm saying.
built.
Here's the number one reason that it has to be part of a dream. They give it a program, but he has to create some kind of free-forming delusion within that program so that it seems real to him. They can't give him 100% of his own dialogue. He has to be able to make choice, and if he can make choice in his dialogue, then he makes choices in part of what he dreams too. So if he dreams about literally the first shot of the movie, except for the space helmets, and he's with that girl, blue sky on Mars, all of that shit, then I don't see how that's an argument for him being Quaid. I think that's part of the delusion that comes within the package of what he got from Rekall. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right. Then answer me this.
Yeah.
Here comes the golden goose.
Oh,
G.
fuck you, golden goose.
If he was Quaid, and if he just went crazy or if he just had his actual Rekall experience that he paid for, then why, before he goes to Rekall, when he's talking to his little construction buddy, the the Goomba, Harry, and he's talking to him about it, and Harry's trying to tell you, hey, don't go to Rekall.
Don't you go to Rekall now, Twitch. They're gonna cut up your brain there,
Quaid. You don't want to go there.
Sashimi out of your brains. You don't want to do that, Quaid. Yeah, I know.
Whenever he does that, he's like, I'm gonna leave their card here on the table. I'm gonna turn around. I'm not gonna look at what happens, but don't you go there,
Don't you go to that Rekall, Quaid. Right.
Yeah. So after they have that conversation, Harry gives them a look. And it is a very telling look. And it's before he even goes to Rekall, G.
$6.66.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's before I got some thoughts on that. Because I'll tell you this. Let's assume that it is a dream at Rekall. The first group of dudes he kills is that guy Harry and all his fucking cronies, man.
Exactly.
So, I'm thinking that maybe Harry's like a guerrilla marketing thing where he's been to Rekall and he couldn't pay the bill, so they're like, you got to work it off by getting your friends to go to Rekall, but you can't just tell them to go to Rekall. Actually, you have to tell them not to go to Rekall. We found out that actually works better. You know what I mean?
And then we'll implant you in the memory, and you'll get to live out your fantasies.
That could have been part of the fucking Schwarzenegger. Yeah, that could have been part of the package that he bought. You know what I mean?
Can we talk for a second about the wanton violence that goes on? It's fantastic. He just murdered 4 dudes in a subway station.
Yeah, he murders 4 dudes and doesn't think twice about it. You know, Now again, he's so innocent.
It's because he's a secret agent,
he's
bro.
He's not secretly a secret agent, though. Or even if he was, he's still Quaid. Now let me just take it one level up. Let me just take it one level up from this, man. Let's say, for instance, that we're talking about the turning point being where this scene where he wakes up at Rekall. It's like, you blew my cover, and he stabs that dude in the fucking neck with the arm thing and all of that shit, right? Now, if he's Hauser, then that's just legit. He woke up because he had a memory cap that popped, like they say in the movie, and he starts remembering. In 24 hours, he could have total recall. Blah blah blah.
Oh, so you agree? Okay, good. We're in agreement.
That was an if. Meanwhile, if he was asleep the whole time, that would mean that, again, that's part of what they sold him, so that it seems seamless and real in his head. The vacation, which does follow literally everything they said was going to happen. Alien artifacts that go back a million years, blue sky on Mars, the girl, the fucking saving the world, all of that stuff is in there. That's if he's asleep, but
Then answer me this. What about the conversations between bad guys and like when the doctors are freaking out? All the shit that happens outside of Quaid's vision that we see as the audience.
Well, that's for the
going
audience.
On somewhere.
I mean, maybe, they needed to put that into his brain too so that it seemed realistic. Like he was watching a movie about himself.
So he's just sitting in a room, he's talking to somebody, then he just stops for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
A couple of minutes so that Richter can talk to Cohagen.
As they switch to Richter.
Yeah, and he can kick over those goldfish and shit. That's possible. Now, what about this? Now, what if at that moment where he wakes up at Rekall, what if it is like Harry told him, sort of, and he got lobotomized right there? So when he wakes up and he's running around doing all this shit, maybe he's really doing that, but he is misperceiving the world around him, right? Like right when he leaves Rekall, Harry's like, let me buy you a drink, and then he kills everybody. But I mean, what if he just was gonna buy him a fucking drink? He's just crazy and paranoid,
that's
you know?
the third level of psychosis that it could possibly be. It's whether, you know, not he's not Quaid, he's not Hauser, he's really just Quaid who got fucked up at Rekall and he's going crazy.
Well, he's still Quaid in that scenario. And let me give you a shot that speaks to that point.
So you're pleading insanity, G?
I'm just saying it's more possible than him being fucking Hauser. You know what I mean?
Unprecedented.
Let me give you some proof right here. A lot of times you'll see a shot in a movie that lets you know something a little bit subtle, a little bit of subtext, right? One of the key scenes in this flick is when the doctor comes in and says that he's been implanted into his brain and that they're all still at Rekall, and if you don't fucking listen, you're gonna be lobotomized. And Sharon Stone comes in, and then everything starts collapsing and blah, blah, blah. But take a look at this shot right here. Here's a shot of him holding a gun on that dude. Now, in the mirror, there's no doctor. So if we're at that third level of psychosis, Quaid is still in the hotel room and pointing a gun, but no doctor ever showed up. At the beginning, before he goes to Rekall, he sees that guy in a commercial anyway. So it's possible that he is merely a spokesman, not an actual, you know, operative of any kind for fucking Rekall. Do they really put their fucking doctors on TV? I have no idea. Who could tell?
I don't know. Yeah, it is the future. So
it is very future.
They might be doing that.
And just to make it even more confusing, if we possibly can, let me give you just one more possible layer of psychosis here. Again, ending is the same as the beginning. Luke's on Mars, he's with the girl, blah, blah, blah. That's how the movie begins. And then he wakes up from a dream, he's with Sharon Stone, and then he goes to Rekall and has this whole adventure, whether it was real or not. Here's my suggestion.
Okay.
That a lot more of it is a dream than we know about. There are a lot of blank transitions of several hours in the first act of the movie. At any one of those, he could have potentially gone back to sleep. I'm suggesting there is no Rekall. There is no fucking mine on Mars. There is none of that. All of that is part of his dream, and he even says at the beginning. He even says at the beginning, or Sharon Stone says, you have the same dream every night. So if they always end with this shot of them, who's to say that the entire concept of going to Rekall, getting his memory cap popping, having to stop Cohagen from mining on Mars, all of that could be created within his dream.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, man. So then, in that scenario as well, still Quaid. So I'm saying there are 4 possible scenarios. And in 3 of them, he's still fucking Quaid. He's not Hauser, dude. He is not Hauser.
Okay. I think, G, and this is kind of unfair now because you've stacked the deck against me.
I mean, I'm just trying to drop them truths, man.
I think that it's time we should put this to a poll.
Yeah.
And we should ask the chat to vote and decide what level of psychosis was it. Is he Hauser?
That's right. All right.
And he, everything took place in the film? Is he Quaid who went crazy at Rekall?
There's 3 Quaids.
Who just enjoyed Rekall?
Yeah.
And ended up having a schizoid embolism and getting lobotomized.
That's possible. That's possible. So yeah.
How do I put that in a term?
Just do it with the 2 options. Just because I stacked the deck doesn't mean you got to split my votes up, man. You know what I mean? Just put, is he Quaid or Hauser? And the 2 answers are Quaid and Hauser. And they can vote it like that. Make it a little 2-minute poll. Make it a 1-minute poll. Fuck the bullshit.
1-minute poll.
1-minute poll. You guys will have 1 minute to vote on who the winner is today on Flick Fights. I'm saying Quaid. Phil's saying Hauser. Duel's making a poll, and I'm trying to buy him that time if I can, man. There it is. It's at the top of your chat now. You have 1
Or is he Detective John Gimble?
He could be Detective John Gimble. Thank you, Slim. Appreciate it, man.
You know what I heard about Arnold Schwarzenegger?
What?
I heard that his CPU is a neural net processor, a learning
computer?
Yeah. It's like that scene in Terminator wherever he takes the thing out of his chest and he throws it and it turns into a bomb.
Yeah, I've never seen that one, man. Jeez. All right, halfway through the vote. Hauser in the lead so far. Very interesting. You guys heard the arguments. Feel free to stuff the ballot with krill points and bits so that your side wins.
Phil.
You know how we do democracy around here. And you tell me, guys, was he Hauser or was he Quaid? 10 seconds to go. Hauser pulling into a big lead.
Hauser!
No, I can't believe this.
Yes.
I thought for sure. Wait. Oh, no.
The menace.
There it is, guys. Howdy, stranger. It turns out that in Total Recall, he was, in fact, Hauser. There it is,
and that's
guys.
how you play Flick Fight.
Give it up for Flick Fights, man. Nice work. I liked it. That was a good one.
I'm not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. I'm an artist working in an unpopular medium.
Can I just speak to you? I mean, really speak to you like man to man. I've known you for a long time, William. And I know about your penchant for spying on women.